There's only so much you can feel through the steering wheel when sim racing. Regardless of how good or bad your steering wheel base is, you're definitely missing out on some of the sensations. Today I'm going to be reviewing the Buttkicker Gamer 2, which I've had for over a year now. The Buttkicker is a rumble motor which reacts to your game and immerses you deeper into your gaming or simulation experience. It allows you to feel bumps, explosions, collisions, and anything else that your game throws at you. I use it every time I sit into my sim rig, and needless to say, I love mine. But it's worth noting that I loved Buttkicker long before I ever started my YouTube channel, and I paid full retail price on it too. Now, due to the success of this channel and my subscriber loyalty, Buttkicker has been kind enough to sponsor me a complete Buttkicker Gamer 2 system, shipped anywhere in the world for one of my subscribers. More on that later in this video. On the left you'll see all the categories in this video. I've put all the timestamps at the top of the description below so that you can jump directly to the sections you want to know more about. While you're down there, I'd appreciate it if you hit thumbs up and also the subscribe button. If you really like these videos, ensure that you hit the little bell icon so that you never miss one. I'm Lawrence and here's my in-depth review of the Buttkicker Gamer 2. Why I bought one. Real driving is all about feeling the car through the seat of your pants. I had heard about vibration motors, or tactile transducers as they're called. I could never justify the cost, and I simply thought that it couldn't possibly add the level of immersion that some people claimed. However, when I found myself struggling in a championship I was racing in, where we were driving quite a lively car and my G27 simply couldn't keep up with the rear end grip, I bit the bullet and bought a Buttkicker Gamer 2 setup, as I'd heard that you could send only the feedback that you care about to the Buttkicker, and you could ignore the rest. I'm going to be showing you how I used my setup to feel only the rear tyre traction loss through the Buttkicker, and how it not only added immersion, but actually made me a better driver. Compatibility. Now, it's worth noting that filtering out only the feedback that you want is a particular luxury that's only available to PC gamers, using software like SimHub or SimVibe, which I'll cover in a minute. However, all is not lost for those of you who are not on PC. In fact, I'd still highly recommend you go and buy a Buttkicker. Buttkicker works using any analog audio port. In its simplest form, it grabs the low frequency sounds and translates them into vibration or rumble effect. So that means you can simply attach it to your existing analog audio port on your PlayStation, Xbox, TV, or even your phone, and you can feel the game properly. This is not exclusively for sim racing either. Imagine playing Counter-Strike, Battlefield, Call of Duty, or even Fortnite and feeling the recoil vibrations from weapons and feeling the explosions shaking the ground around you. You can even use it for music, videos, movies. The possibilities are endless. In fact, I can't think of any non-simulation titles where the regular game audio output wouldn't suffice. Please note that some consoles like the PS4 or the Xbox One may not have analog sound outputs depending on their configuration, but rather a digital sound output. The Gamer 2 is only compatible with analog sound inputs, but you can grab an adapter for about €15 which will sort the issue out for you. I've added a link to that product for you in the description below. Hardware. In the box, you get a 90-watt amplifier, a wired remote control, and the transducer itself, which is attached to a very handy integrated mounting bracket. You'll get all the cables and adapters that you could possibly need, whether you use inline headphones or even a sound mixer. The amplifier features buttons on the front, which allow you to tune your device to your particular needs. There are indicators to highlight when clipping occurs as well. I'll explain clipping in a little bit more detail in a while. There's a very handy remote control unit that you can keep nearby whilst hiding the amp out of sight. This remote allows you to turn the amp on and off, as well as adjusting the overall strength of your Buttkicker. All the buttons on the remote feature handy little indentations which make it very easy to use while not looking at it, and that's especially handy when you're in VR. The Buttkicker itself looks the business, with diamond cut styling. It sits perfectly at home in my sim racing rig. The mounting bracket will fit any round or square bar or mount up to 3.5 centimeters in diameter. That's about 1.4 inches. There's plenty of length in the cables too, with the main cable from your amp to your Buttkicker stretching over 4 meters long. That's 13.5 foot in old money. The inline remote has a 1.5 meter cable or 5 foot in length. They even throw in a few Y-shaped adapters, various audio cables and some Velcro to keep it all tidy. Software. Because the Buttkicker uses an analog audio signal to translate into rumbling, it can be plugged into any analog audio port and operated without any additional software. However, if like me, you want to get the most out of your Buttkicker, you'll need to use something like SimHub, which is free, or SimExperience SimVibe, which is $89 US. SimExperience of course makes the AccuForce direct drive wheel, as well as motion simulators and all sorts of other amazing immersive products. I personally use SimHub as it's free. I never found any limitations that have made me want to spend $89 on the SimVibe offering. Also bear in mind that if you want to use such software to fine tune the feedback from your Buttkicker, you'll need a dedicated sound output device for this. Don't worry though, it doesn't need to be high-end hardware. A USB sound card can be bought for as little as €5 on Amazon. I've linked to one in the description below. Even though I bought one of those sound adapters, I actually found that the front audio ports on my PC tower actually did the job perfectly, so I never needed the adapter. How does it feel? In short, it feels great. Exponentially better than not having one. But it's difficult to put into words what a Buttkicker brings to the table. It's like describing a smell or a feeling. You kind of need to experience it to understand what the hype is about. It's worth being realistic in your expectations though. The Buttkicker Gamer 2 isn't going to rattle your bones or shake the ground. It's just a low powered rumble motor, so don't expect too much of it. However, a well set up Buttkicker can give you many of the sensations that you're missing from your gaming experience right now. I absolutely love mine, and I've been using it every time I game since last year when I bought it. One of the most satisfying things about the Buttkicker is that it's actually virtually silent while it's running. It's not meant to make noise, it's meant to make vibrations. Those vibrations, as long as there's nothing loose on your rig, don't make any noise. I use mine to feel traction loss, gear changes, sharp bumps, rumble strips, ABS and traction control while sim racing. The level of feedback could be stronger, and I've never experimented with a stronger amplifier, nor have I even run the unit very high, as I noticed quite a lot of clipping during my early tests. Clipping is where there are so many signals being sent that the motor is basically operating at 100% and you get no distinction or clarity or variations anymore. I soon found out that less is more with this device. Those of you who are looking for stronger vibrations might look into getting multiple units or stronger offerings. But if you want a great solution that's easy to mount, even to a desk chair, then the Gamer 2 is probably the one for you. Which leads us nicely into the next section. Cost. You can build tactile transducer systems quite cheaply in general, but most of us don't want the hassle, and we want something that looks good too. The most accessible complete package I could find was the Buttkicker Gamer 2, and the cheapest I could find one was around £230 sterling, which is €270 or $300 US. Now, folks in the USA or Australia are probably scratching your heads and about to write a comment below telling me how wrong I am about the price, but hear me out. In Europe, we get 240 volts through our sockets, and the 240 volt version just costs a lot more than the 120 version that you get in the USA. In the USA, you can actually buy the 120 volt Buttkicker for only $170. That's €150 or 130 Great British pounds. So not only half the voltage, but also half the price. I'm not sure whether voltage is the only difference or why it needs to be called out. I mean, if I buy a laptop, I just get a different mains adapter. The kettle lead with the Buttkicker Gamer 2 plugs straight into the amp with the Buttkicker, so the power conversion happens inside the amp itself. It seems like something that should be easily rectified, but I'm no expert. Maybe somebody with more technical knowledge can explain to me why there's such a massive price difference. Finding a reseller in the UK was difficult. The official distributor, networkmusic.biz, lists a whole host of reseller websites. Most of these sites don't even work. You'll see the list for yourself in the description below. The sites that do work have search features, however when you search for Buttkicker, you don't even get any results that say Buttkicker. What's the story, Buttkicker? Don't you want my money? Luckily for you, I've done some homework and I've put some product links for different regions in the description below. How to win one. Now this is really exciting, especially for those of you who aren't in a position to buy one right now. You can win one in the next 2 weeks simply by subscribing to this channel. You need to ensure that your YouTube privacy settings are correct. Your subscriptions must not be private. I've put a link in the description below. to your YouTube privacy settings. Just make sure that your subscriptions are publicly visible. Once I pick a winner, I'll do an announcement video in the coming weeks. Until that video is released, all new subscribers, even over the 2,000 subscriber mark, will automatically be in the competition. I'll also be updating the description of this video with a link to the announcement about the winner. As you can see, we're quickly reaching the 2,000 subscriber mark. I can't thank you all enough for watching my videos, sharing them and all that. Hopefully prizes like this are some little bit of a reward for the loyalty that you are all showing my channel. And of course, I'd also like to thank Buttkicker for this amazing prize and for having enough faith in my small but growing channel to give me this amazing prize. They'll actually ship the Buttkicker directly to you. The one in this video is the one that I have for the last year. You'll be getting a shiny new one, brand new in the box. My final thought. Being able to feel more of what my game is trying to tell me gives me the confidence that I need in order to be more consistent and ultimately more in control of the variables in my surroundings in my game. Many people who use my sim rig ask me afterwards, was the sim rig moving? This is solely down to the immersion added by the Buttkicker. Your mind expects something to happen when you drive over a rumble strip. The Buttkicker Gamer 2 does a great job of adding this dimension to my racing experience. It's now a dimension that I don't want to race without. If your rig or seat offers a specific Buttkicker mount, I'd recommend buying it if you're buying a Gamer 2. Simply because a proper mount can transfer the vibrations through the correct parts of your rig, making it feel like it's intended. For example, attaching a Buttkicker to your monitor would make no sense, so mounting it correctly will make all the difference. The Gamer 2 is a great consumer offering and is perfect for those of us who don't like fuss and just want stuff to work. The package contains all the bits and pieces that you need to get going on PC or console, other than that dedicated sound source that I mentioned before, should you wish to use SimHub or SimVibe. There are more comprehensive and more powerful transducers out there, but if you don't currently own one or fully understand how it all works, I'd recommend getting started with the Gamer 2. The product looks tidy and has more than enough length in the cables to suit most rigs. I've linked to the manual in the description below for those of you who want to have a dive into the technical details of the product. I really hope that this has given you a good insight into this amazing product. If you've already subscribed and your subscriptions are public, drop a comment below and tell me why you want to win this amazing prize. I'm Lawrence, thanks for watching and I'll chat to you later.